Wow. Have mercy. All right, it's time for another mind-bending edition of Slick Daddy's Open Bar, where there's never a cover, never a minimum, and we have a special edition of the Open Bar. We usually don't have too many guests on the program, but an old friend, Theodore Capel, independent journalist and content producer, has reached out to us. He's got an exciting new docudrama coming up, and I believe it's about the fairness doctrine. Are you there, Theodore?
Yeah, well, yes, I am, Tom. Hello to you. How are you doing?
I'm just dynamic as usual. Now, what is this? Of course, we know the fairness doctrine was something for the audience, the people listening that don't know, was a rule, a law that was in effect from the FCC from the 1940s all the way up until the Reagan administration, when it was revoked. And the idea was that if you gave a certain point of view, let's say a right-wing point of view, you had to have the left-wing point of view. You had to have equal time for both sides so that it would make people think critically and listen to both sides of the story. And then that was, of course, stripped away by the ass clowns back at that time in the FCC, saying, "Yeah, you don't really need this anymore because there's so much out there to choose from that you can get a fair story." And of course, leads us into what we have today, which is a very bipartisan web of television networks and media and whatnot, Fox News, MSNBC. You name it. Am I going down the right pipe here, Theodore? Is this what we're talking?
Yeah, Tom. That's a general assessment is pretty accurate there.
Okay.
That was it. Originally started was something called the Mayflower Law when it was originally. Then in 1949, it turned into the Fairness Doctrine. And I know that broadcasters at the time thought we're putting forth the argument that it stifled the broadcasters' freedom of speech and impeded open debate on public airwaves. But history has shown that without presenting fair, differing opinions,
right,
all you have is propaganda.
Exactly.
And that's what we have today. And our film, our docudrama, is called Hindsight. And in it, we will be chronicling the societal effects of the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine, sort of following this fictional character is by the name of Roscoe Scannott.
I like the name.
Yes. And he's a brilliantly bombastic buffoon who actually led what turned into a army of clones. And there you have it. You wonder why we are so polarized. We have a constant message pouring out into our media of this discontentment. And there, of course, is always going to be some discontentment, but some of this manufactured discontentment and
exactly.
One side of the story. And half-truthers. That's what we call them in the film, half-truthers. They give you some truth, but they never give you all the truth. They sow discord.
Exactly. And the idea is to keep people upset and pissed off all the time and afraid and stupid, basically, because they're getting only one side of the story, and many times, as you said, it's manufactured. It's hyped up. It's a half truth or whatever, and they're getting away with this. And there's many people that don't even watch the other side of the news anymore. And then of course they rag on the mainstream media, which isn't perfect, but they don't even watch it. So they're getting one side of the story, whether it be the right or the left. And I think it's more on the right, to tell you the truth. But you have this discontent, as you said, that we have today. What can we do about it? I mean, also deregulation has played a role in this, I would think, as well.
That's true as well, Tom. You ask, what can we do? So the mission of as writers, as we put together this docudrama, was to hopefully come up with some solutions, and it may come down to just individual behavior, and a concept that in our docudrama we touch on is the art of peace speak and cross community advocacy. As you know, we live in this sort of victimized society. It's not cancel culture; it's victim culture. Everyone has a grievance,
right?
But in cross community advocacy, instead of hating your neighbor, as Con Talk Radio has cultivated for decades, how about we start advocating for our neighbors? For instance, white people advocating for black people, gay people advocating for straight people, trans people advocating for straight people,
right?
Women advocating for men. It goes on and on. How about Republicans advocating for Democrats? Think about it.
Wow. That I would like to see. Peace and love and all that, but how do you get to that point? I mean, how would this be taught in schools or?
Well, you mentioned the schools, but I think that's where we have to start and start to actual truth in the history that's taught about the history of this country. And we have to grow up as a nation in order to get along with each other. We can't just continue to act like reactionary children and expect society to remain civil.
Yeah, I think more open debate is what we need. As a matter of fact, there's a new a YouTube channel. I think it's Jubilee, maybe, and they have a segment. It's called Surrounded. And what they have, maybe you've seen this, Theodore, what they'll have is one person debate 20 people. Like they had Sank, the guy from Young Turks on.
Oh, Young Turks, yes.
And then they had, I can't think of the other guy, debate 20 Republicans. And, face to face, they sit there in a chair, and it's really cool. I mean, it's not nasty. They debate back and forth, and I think we need more of that. That's what we need right now, because people are just getting, like you said, they're just tuning in for what they want to. The networks that they watch are telling them what they want to hear, that basically. So that's what they're tuning in for, rather than to be enlightened, let's say.
Right. Well, that's one of the loopholes of capitalism, the morality of capitalism. If it makes a profit, it's okay. Just keep doing it.
Right.
And that's what happens with a lot of different movements that outlive their usefulness, but continue on and just to raise money for themselves. Exactly.
I mean, a point can be made that, like a company like Fox News, they're just telling their audience what they want to hear. They want to hear that Barack Obama's the worst, that Joe Biden is senile.
Exactly.
And that's what they want. That's what they want to hear. That's what they tell people. So
it's resentment as a product.
Right.
And that's what they're selling.
Well, I hope we could get past this at some point and get back to intelligent, critical thinking, debate. We've got a lot of problems in this country, and they need to be solved, and you can't get there if you can't even agree on the facts. Right now we have somebody in the White House that is attacking the truth, and, I've never seen propaganda like this in my life. Just straight out lies. And, We haven't had that in the United States. And now, just like many European countries, we have propaganda. And then, of course, with the advent of the internet and everything, there's so much disinformation. It's unbelievable.
That is the situation for sure. I would say one thing reminds me of the movie Apollo 13, where that's where the astronauts got stranded for a while.
Right.
Yes. Well, I remember the one scene where some of the NASA officials are talking what a catastrophe it's going to be if this comes out that we're just incompetent and all that type of thing. Mm-hmm. And the fellow Ed Harris, the actor Ed Harris, the character he played, he overheard that conversation and he jumped in and said, "I beg to differ. I believe this will be America's finest hour. Perhaps America will rise to this moment."
Well, listen, Theodore, I hope it sounds wonderful. I hope we can get to that at some point in my lifetime, in your lifetime. And when can we look for this new docudrama that you're producing? When can we look for this to be released?
Going to be a few months, early 26. Yeah, I hope your listeners will give it a shot on YouTube at Mike Reeves Radio, and I'll leave you with a comment here, a quote from Silence Dogwood. It's a pseudonym of one of the founding fathers. The quote here is, "Who would overthrow a nation must begin by subduing the freeness of speech." It's Ben Franklin.
Oh, wow. That is a great quote, and it's true. I mean, it still makes sense today.
Yes, it does.
Mike Reeves Radio.
Correct.
And we will look for that sometime next year at Mike Reeves Radio YouTube channel. New docudrama on the Fairness Doctrine. Theodore, it's been real. I appreciate you phoning in, and we will let our listeners know here on the Slickcast when it is released.
And I thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for having me on.
Hail to the king, baby.